Yo, what's up? It's your host with the most. I'm ChrisDaDon1. Welcome to another episode of ImChrisDaDon1 Podcast, episode 23. Before we begin today's show, first and foremost, I'd like to tell you guys that if, as far as YouTube goes, as far as me uploading content on YouTube, I have 2 channels on YouTube, and I will be uploading these podcast episodes primarily on my YouTube channel, because I want my YouTube audience to know that if you still appreciate what I do and what I bring, you can follow me on Google Play, iTunes, the Anchor app, Spotify, any type of service that has a podcast format, and subscribe to the ImChrisDaDon1 Podcast. I will be doing the bulk of my content on my podcast, and it's due to a lot of things, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on into this show. But we got a jam-packed show nevertheless. We're going to be talking about some NFL news. We're also going to be talking about some gaming news. Maybe we'll sprinkle in the health crisis that's called the coronavirus, as well as YouTube and YouTube be tripping. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode 23. And that's, you guys know I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. I've been a Dallas Cowboy fan since day one, okay? And I've been following the Dallas Cowboys ever since I was a little one, okay? And I've been with the Dallas Cowboys. I've been a fan of the Dallas Cowboys through the ups, through the downs, all right? And when it comes to Dak Prescott, I feel like the future is very safe and secure in his hands. If you look at what he has done for the Dallas Cowboys, I can't say anything bad about Dak Prescott. However, this contract situation, the status of it, sometimes I have a lot of sleepless nights wondering is this deal ever going to get done. Now, Michael Irvin talked about it briefly, the Dak Prescott contract. He talked about it briefly on Super Bowl week, talking about he had some anonymous inside sources in the Dallas Cowboys organization that suggested to him that they are willing to move on, okay, if they can't get a deal done with Dak Prescott. Matthew Stafford has been in the rumor mill. I forgot the quarterback from Cincinnati. If you give me a few minutes, I'll probably remember his name. As well as Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Michael Irvin basically said on Super Bowl week that he feels like Tom Brady will probably make his way to the Dallas Cowboys if a deal isn't done with Dak Prescott. Now, I feel like a deal will be done. Dak Prescott, the representative, his agent, is looking around $40 million a season. The Dallas Cowboys are looking at maybe $31 a season, and it's the guaranteed contract. Okay, the bulk of his contract, the representatives for Dak Prescott want it guaranteed, while when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they don't want the majority of that contract guaranteed. Okay, the signing bonus isn't an issue. Now, the Dallas Cowboys do have an ace in the hole by giving him the franchise tag, placing the franchise tag on him, and they have several years to do this. Okay, however, there have been rumors that suggest that Dak Prescott is willing to go as far as sitting out the season if this deal isn't done. Now, I feel like this deal will be done before the start of the regular season. Okay, so I feel like both parties are going to have to agree to disagree, and they're going to come to a conclusion as far as Dak Prescott being signed long term with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, as far as all these other quarterbacks like Tom Brady, I just do not see a scenario that Tom Brady is going to the Dallas Cowboys, okay? And that's more so with the Dallas Cowboys when you talk about the owner, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and the other guys there in the Dallas Cowboys organization. They are highly excited for Dak Prescott, and they want a deal done with him. They feel like they have their quarterback already in the facility. And as far as them looking outside the facility, as far as Dak Prescott go, they simply just not. They want this deal done It's just the language of the contract where, they're having issues with. Okay. But eventually cooler heads are going to prevail and this deal will get done. And I just don't see a scenario where Dak Prescott is going to be traded to another team. Okay. But Tom Brady. As far as Tom Brady goes, a lot of people feel like Tom Brady is going to leave the New England Patriots because of Bill Belichick and the New England's organization. They feel like, look, they want Tom Brady, but are they going to pay $30 million a season for the services of Tom Brady? And clearly, if you've been following and paying attention to Tom Brady's track record with doing the New England Patriots, he just can't carry a team like he used to a couple of years ago. Okay, it's just factual and it's true. If you look at his record, his individual stats for the New England Patriots, they was not good, and that's due to age. He's a lot older, and the New England Patriots, if push come to shove, if Tom Brady is going to sign back to the New England Patriots, that's a doable deal. But as far as getting better outside the quarterback position, they're going to struggle financially trying to make the other positions, get better at the other positions, unless those position players take a huge pay cut, and that's just not happening. Okay, but a lot of people were talking about Tom Brady, where else Tom Brady could go. A lot of people feel like it's the San Diego Chargers. If he goes to the San Diego Chargers, then he's going to have to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are in no notion as far as not going to not only go deep into the playoffs, but the possibility of making it to the Super Bowl. I feel like a lot of AFC teams are going to struggle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though San Diego is lovely, if Tom Brady and they have better weapons than New England, there's question marks on their offensive line. But there's weapons for Tom Brady to play with the San Diego Chargers. But when you look at the AFC, it's a juggernaut over there. If it's not Kansas City that you have to worry about, it's also it's also the Oakland Raiders. Okay, the Las Vegas Raiders. I feel like they have enough talent there to really cause havoc in the AFC. Okay, so you got a lot of teams on the AFC. I just don't see Tom Brady switching divisions like that. Now, as far as a possibility, and I've been saying this for a while, there's a rumor floating around that, Tom Brady is also interested in maybe going to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans, when you look at their organization and the Titans organization, it's a lot of that personnel Tom Brady had relationships with when they was in their time in New England. Plus, he's very familiar with the head coach in Tennessee. Now, to me, I'm from Tennessee, and I feel like if they are able to get Tom Brady, if you look at the pieces that they have around Tom Brady on the offensive side, it's an upgrade when you compare the talent to New England. But how much of an upgrade? I just don't. Besides Derrick Henry, who else can you name on that Titans offense? Okay, and I feel like that's going to be like a blessing in disguise for Tom Brady, because that's a running team. They're going to hand the ball to Derrick Henry, and they also have problems when you talk about the Tennessee Titans as far as signing Derrick Henry. And are they going to pay him a boatload of money to make him happy? Okay, so you got that going on, and what if? And there might be a possibility where they can't sign Derrick Henry. Do Tom Brady still go to the Tennessee Titans? Secondly, I just don't see when you look at the city and you look at Tom Brady, I just don't think it's a great fit. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, what's the difference?" I mean, New England it gets ugly and cold up there, Tennessee, they have some ugly winners as well, and people like try to compare the two as the same by their weather. And the one thing I gotta say about Tennessee is not a glamorous city by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, not to say Tom Brady that's where he preferred to go, but if you look at San Diego, if he moves on and step away from the New England Patriots, and then he starts, figuring out what other cities he likes to go to, obviously Kansas City is a more attractive city than the Tennessee Titans. Okay, I just don't see the fit working well, both personally, business-wise, and sports-wise, athlete-wise, team-wise. Okay, even though it could be a blessing in disguise for Tom Brady, because now all he has to do is hand the ball off. Plus, are the Tennessee Titans willing to go that extra mile to sign Tom Brady? If $30 million, if the New England Patriots are comfortable giving Tom Brady $30 million, how much more money does the Tennessee Titans have to give to get the services of Tom Brady? Okay, so that's just some things a lot of people are not, patching in and adding up. Okay, now, for one, let's segue to another football story. Antonio Brown has been on this apology tour, and I told you guys on many podcasts, I feel like I knew this day was going to come, because eventually Antonio Brown was going to say or do something where it's going to be the point of, he hit rock bottom. And I feel like those charges in Florida, that was his rock bottom moment. Now, ever since then, he's got rid of the hang-me-ons. He's also got him a public relation agent, and he's also been, due to the court, doing some, psychiatric testing for, Antonio Brown, talking to a psychiatrist. And I feel like he needed that, because there was a lot of things going on with Antonio Brown that, it was more than just football, in my opinion. Now, is it too late for him to rebound from all the stuff that he did to himself this year, as far as possibly a team signing him next year? I feel like there's a market for Antonio Brown. It's not going to be a guaranteed contract market. It's not going to be a huge signing bonus type of market. But I do feel like teams are going to kick the tires with Antonio Brown, and particularly contenders, and sign Antonio Brown to a contract where he's going to have to earn his keep. He's going to have to earn his money, and it's going to be easy for that team to get rid of him if he becomes a loose cannon. Okay, so anything's possible for Antonio Brown, even though a lot of people feel like, as far as Antonio Brown goes, it's just, he just effed it up. I feel like he has one more chance to make it in the league, and if it doesn't work in the NFL, I can see a scenario where if he burned his quote-unquote NFL bridges to those teams, I can see a scenario where he can probably play Canadian football or the XFL. Okay, now, as far as that, we're going to move on into some gaming topics real fast, real quick. Sony has... Everyone wants to know the PlayStation 5. Sony has been very tight-lipped about the PlayStation 5, okay? Now, they've been loose at the lips talking about they're going to skip E3. They talk about some minor features of the PlayStation 5 earlier in the year. Earlier last year. Summertime last year. But no one knows the price. And people are wondering, why hasn't Sony given up the price or even the look of the PlayStation 5? I feel like I feel like Sony is waiting for Microsoft to drop the other shoe on their console. They already done said the name of their console. They already done said the console's lineup, gaming lineup. They also talked about when they're going to have this console available, but they have not given a price. Microsoft has, and I feel like Sony is waiting until the other shoe drop. When Microsoft finally reveal its price, and I feel like then and only then, Sony is going to, tell us the price of the PlayStation 5. And I feel like they have different packages, just waiting to utilize one of those packages as soon as Microsoft tells the world how much their console is going to be. Obviously, Sony wants to hit it in that sweet spot and make it very affordable right out the gate, like they did with the PlayStation 4, making it $100 cheaper. And I felt like that was the selling pitch for the PlayStation 4. It was $100 cheaper than the Xbox. Plus, they had a bigger, robust, exclusive lineup. Okay, now last year, when it comes to the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, as well as the One, and this runs parallel with Microsoft Xbox games, Xbox consoles, except the Xbox One X, where the reason why you buy these consoles is you want to play these games that's only going to appear on that console. Exclusives was the main ingredient, the important ingredient when you talk about gaming consoles. Now, this year is a little twist. Microsoft has pretty much said, let's play together. They allow PC gamers to purchase the same games, the same content on the same day and date with Xbox gamers. Okay, now Sony has already been on the record. Some of their exclusive titles, PC gamers are going to get their hands. Now, it's not going to be the same day and date. Where I can see a scenario where Sony can release their exclusive lineups on the PlayStation 5, and then a year later, PC will get their hands, or 2 years later, PC will have the right to play Sony games as well. It's obviously, when you look at the new leadership of Sony, they have already pretty much gone in bed with as far as making sure their games, their content is on the PC side of things, where PC gamers can get an opportunity to play their games. And if you check out what the new president have said, that's what they're doing now. With Microsoft, the games, every time they release a game, it's also playable not only on the Xbox but on devices as well as PC. Sony to this day has not told anyone as far as their new exclusive lineups that's going to be making its way to the PlayStation 5, is it going to be the same day and the same date alongside the PC side of things? And if I take an educational guess, I'm assuming that they're still going to be somewhat exclusive, but it's going to be a time exclusive, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of these, there's going to be some games that's exclusive to PlayStation 5 is going to remain exclusive to the PlayStation 5. They're big, heavy hitters. Now, as far as I can see games that are, I can see a handful of games being time exclusive, maybe a year, 2 years, they're on the PlayStation 5, and then it makes its way to PC. Now, they already said that as far as MLB The Show, that's going to be a multi-plat, and that's due to Major League Baseball keeping the licensing agreement with Major League Baseball. So MLB The Show will also not only be on the PlayStation 5, but it will be on Microsoft as well as Nintendo as well as PC. So I feel like it's either E3 or after E3 we find out the price of the PlayStation 5. And they're really waiting on what Microsoft is going to do as far as delivering a price on their next gen system. Now, done talking about that. Let's talk about this health scare of the coronavirus. It's been hitting the news. A lot of people should already know about this. It has caused multiple deaths around the world. It's affecting a lot of things. When you talk about the world, they're even talking about, it's going to be a shortage on the next gen consoles. When you talk about the PlayStation 5, as well as the next Xbox, the bulk of those systems are made in China. Okay, so, and 80% of all goods that the United States sell are from China. So the coronavirus is going to have an effect even in the gaming industry, as well as every other industry as well, when you talk about making products and things of that nature. Okay, so the coronavirus, to me, it's a perfect storm for it, because right now I feel like I'm only referring this information to the United States. I'm talking about our country. I feel like it's a perfect storm, and I feel like it's going to eventually make its way in the United States borders. Now, there have been some cases, and I feel like it's going to run rampant here. Not as serious as in China, but it's going to really run rampant. And I also feel like it's a perfect storm due to we're going to have a long winter, a lot of cold months, meaning a lot of people are going to get sick. A lot of immune systems are going to be low, and you're going to hear a lot of cases of reports of flus, and how people are more sick now than they ever was, and that the coronavirus is going to be the end all and be all for that reasoning. Now, I still say to this day, guys, be careful out there. Wash your hands. Make sure you don't be in contact with anyone that's sick. Try to stay away from anyone that is sick or that's coughing, sneezing, whatever the case may be, as far as having conversation with them or even working with them. But I feel like with this country, I feel like we're probably better adequate and better prepared for a disease like this. And I feel like once it makes its way here, now there have been some cases in the United States, but nothing severe on the level as China. And I feel like the United States has been on top of it, and have been proactive, not like with the Chinese government trying to cover it up, but notifying us. Even though they notifying us, I still feel like the cases that they have reported in the United States, I feel like there's a much larger percent of people having this disease. But I feel like they're not going to give us the whole story because they don't want chaos in the streets. But I feel like this coronavirus it's a perfect storm set up for it. We're in the winter months. We're going to have a long winter, a long, ugly winter, meaning a lot of people are going to be, a lot of people, immune systems are going to be, accepted for this coronavirus. Okay. So just be careful out there and just, wash your hands, stay away from sick people. And keep your immune system up by eating plenty of oranges, freshly squeezed orange juice, anything that can build your immune system up so it can fight this disease. Okay, so that's all I got to say on this episode. I will come back next week with some more topics. And that's just about it, guys. It's your boy, the host with the most. I'm ChrisDaDon1. I will see you guys next week. Deuces, guys.